Hi, it's me, Ingrid INFP, and welcome to INFP Poetry Corner, where I read poems in French and then I read the translation in English, and I talk about how these poems have hit me, affected me, impacted me, moved me. And I'm going through this book, which is the Anthology of French Poetry, devait, Verlaine. It's a pretty small book, but there are certain poems that I read when I was a child or a teenager, and they have really hit me. And unfortunately, I've realized that all these poets that I'm talking about are the romantics, because I'm an INFP, and INFPs love the romantics period. There's that picture of that man who's looking over the clouds. What's the name? Maybe you guys can remember the name of the painting that I'm thinking of, where he's watching a sea of clouds and the setting reflects his feelings. And it's kind of a little bit impressionistic in style. And Impressionism is also kind of an INFP movement, you could say. But this is called Le Lac by Alphonse de Lamartine. And this is written in 1817, from what I can tell. And basically, they went to a lake that's actually quite close to where I grew up. And so they went to thermal cures, which was such a big thing in the past, where rich people would go to baths and hope to get better from some illness, or just get better in their health. But unfortunately, this woman, she couldn't come because she was very, very sick, and so she died. And what happened is that she fell in the lake, I think, from what I understand. Anyway, that's the context about this poem. Let's go. Le lac. Ainsi, toujours poussés vers de nouveaux rivages, dans la nuit éternelle, emportés sans retour. Ne pourrons-nous jamais, sur l'océan des âges, jeter l'ancre un seul jour? Ô lac! L'année à peine a fini sa carrière, et près des flots chéris qu'elle devait revoir. Regarde, je viens seul m'asseoir sur cette pierre, où tu la vis s'asseoir. Tu mugissais ainsi sous ces roches profondes. Ainsi tu te brisais sur leurs flancs déchirés. Ainsi le vent jetait l'écume de tes ondes sur ces pieds adorés. Un soir, t'en souvient-il, nous voguions en silence. On entendait au loin, sur l'onde et sous les cieux, que le bruit des rameurs qui frappaient en cadence des flots harmonieux. Tout à coup, des accents inconnus à la terre, du rivage charmé, frappèrent les échos. Le flot fut attentif, et les voix qui m'échèrent laissa tomber ces mots. Ô temps, suspends ton vol, et vous, heures, suspendez vos cours. Propices, laissez-nous savourer les rapides délices des plus beaux de nos jours. Assez de malheureux ici-bas, vous implore, coulez, coulez pour eux. Prenez avec leurs jours les soins qui les dévorent. Oubliez les heureux. Mais je demande en vain quelques moments encore. Le temps m'échappe et fuit. Je dis à cette nuit, sois plus lente. Et l'aurore va dissiper la nuit. Aimons donc. De l'heure fugitive, hâtons-nous, jouissons. L'homme n'a point de port. Le temps n'a point de arrive, il coule et nous passons. Tant jaloux, se peut-il que ces moments d'ivresse, d'où l'amour à longs flots nous verse le bonheur, s'envolent loin de nous, de la même vitesse que les jours de malheur? Et quoi? N'en pourrons-nous fixer au moins la trace? Quoi? Passer pour jamais? Quoi? Tous entiers perdus? Ce temps qui les donna, ce temps qui les efface, nous ne le perdons plus? Éternité, néant, passé, sombres abîmes, que faites des jours que vous engloutissez? Parlez. Nous rendrez-vous ces extames sublimes que vous nous ravissez? Ô lac, rocher muet, grotte, forêt obscure, vous que les temps épargnent et qu'il peut rajeunir, gardez de cette nuit, gardez, belle nature, au moins le souvenir. Qu'il soit dans ton repos, qu'il soit dans tes orages, beau lac, et dans l'aspect de tes riants coteaux, et dans ces noirs sapins, et dans ces rocs sauvages qui perdent sur ces eaux. Qu'il soit dans le zéphyr qui frémit, qui passe, dans les bruits de tes bords, par tes bords répétés, et dans l'astre front d'argent qui blanchit ta surface de ses molles clartés. Que le vent qui gémit, le roseau qui soupire, que les parfums légers de ton air embaumé, que tout ce qu'on entend, qu'on voit, que l'on respire, qu'on tout dise, ils ont aimé. Okay, this was a long poem. Let's go to the English version. Towards new, okay, so the lake. Towards new and different shores, forever driven onward, through endless darkness, always borne away. Upon the sea of time, can we not lie at anchor, for but a single day? O lake! The year has scarce run once more round its track, and by these waves she had to see again. Look! I have come alone to sit upon this rock. You saw her sit on them. Beneath these towering cliffs, your waters murmur still, and on their ragged flanks, your waves still beat. The wind still flings those drops of spray that last year fell on her beloved feet. Do you recall that evening when we sailed in silence? Upon your waters a great stillness held. The only sounds were those of oars that struck in cadence your harmonious swells. Then suddenly, accents that from the earth have perished made echoes ring from your enchanted shores. The waters paid attention, and the voice I cherished gave utterance to these words. I beg you, sublime hours, pause in your headlong flight, and time, suspend your race. Allow us to flavor the fugitive delights of our happiest days. So many souls down there in agony implore you, fly fast. For them, flow on. Carry off with their days their worry and their sorrow. Forget the happy ones. Just a few more moments, I ask, in vain, for time eludes me and takes flight. I tell the night to pass more slowly, and dawn comes to chase away the night. Then let us love. Then let us fill each fleeting hour with joy and ecstasy. Man does not have a port. Time does not have a shore. It passes, and so do we. O jealous time! Why do those moments of drunkenness, when love flows over us in joyful waves, have to fly far away from us at the same pace as our unhappy days? What? Can we not retain of them at least some trace? What? Vanished as though they have never been? Time, they gave them to us, and then took them away, won't bring them back again. Eternity, unbeing, dim past, profound abyss. What do you do with the days that you engulf? Tell me, will you ever return those hours of bliss that you have stolen from us? O lake, mute rocks, thick rushes, hidden caves, dark forest, you whom time spares or can rejuvenate, beautiful nature, keep forevermore at least the memory of that night. Let it be in your slumber and in your fierce storm and in the features of your laughing banks, and in those dense, deep firs, and in that wild scarp that above your shoreline hangs. Let it be in the sounds that echo from your borders, in the fine spray your waves throw to the wind, and in the silver star that shines upon your waters, and your depths is twined, I guess. Oh, may the pungent breeze, the softly sighing reeds, the balmy fragrance of the air above, may everything one sees, one hears, one feels, one breathes, may all proclaim, they loved. Okay. Oh, I mean, there's a lot to unpack here, but I like how the beginning is so soft, like he's going into his memories with the one that he loved. And then how he gets more and more angry at time, at the lake, at the entire place, space and time. He gets so, he begs first, like he's going through all the stages of grief, you know? At first he can't believe it, and then he's like bargaining. Please give me more of that, you know, please give that memory back, you know? Please keep that memory. Don't let time pass, you know? And so then he gets angry, like, you know, don't let the happy people, like, make time go, like, slowly for, like, fast for happy people, but for sad people. Make time, preserve the time that we had that was happy, instead of flying away from us. Let him keep that memory of that last evening on the lake with his lover. And he goes through all the stages of grief, you know, and it just builds and builds, like the rushing of the stream, and you can like feel his desperation. And he talks about such beautiful things and how time does not stop for anyone or for anything, and how nature can rejuvenate, but he feels that he himself inside is dead and like can't bring back what has been. And it's a great example of like the passing of time, and how like he wants to reconnect with nature, but he's not connected to nature because he wants time to stop. But he wants to be more like nature in that time, like that he can be rejuvenated by time. You know, like the seasons pass, that kind of thing. He talks about where time spares or can rejuvenate. And he wants the nature, the very setting that he's in, to preserve, to keep that memory of the night that he had been on the beautiful lake. And he wants just these hours of bliss in order to keep living. And like he acts outraged, but you can feel that like it's his grief. He's like, what? Can we not retain of them at least some trace? What? Vanished as though they had never been? You know, he wants like nature to write down his, to keep a record of the fact that he had been there. Because otherwise everything is just nothing. He doesn't have a record of these things except in his memory. And he doesn't want to just have unhappy days. He wants those hours that were happy to stretch, and then the short hour, like to shorten all the hours of suffering. But he can't, because that's not how time or nature works. But I find that it's a beautiful example of Romanticism and the fact that this isn't the story from his own wife, but it was a story of a physician and his wife, and the wife died on the same lake of where he had the thermal baths. So, and the fact that he was like, they were on holiday and it was marked by such profound tragedy. So he talks a lot about how important, how powerful memory is, how time just escapes him, it just flows away from him like the water in the lake. And I just adore this poem. I think that it's, I always remember the feeling of the poem, that like it's rushing like the water, and the emotions that makes me feel, you know? I mean, I feel like, oh no, me too. I also want to preserve those hours that he's talking about. And yeah, so I'm going to assume that he's an INFP. I don't know. I'll just assume that every poet in this thing is INFP. Even though probably isn't. I mean, I don't think Victor Hugo was an INFP. But other poets in here are. And yeah, I'm sorry that these poems are in French. Okay. But tell me what you guys think. Do you have a poem that you want to share? That you want me to react to? I could do this all day. Okay. I've been doing this for the better part of an hour now, making different videos, but I can keep on doing this. Have a great day, everybody.